Oman's coastline is a living history book, its pages written in sand, stone, and salt air. Stretching for thousands of kilometers along the Indian Ocean, it forms a shimmering border between land and sea, where the horizon seems endless and the stories even more so. For centuries, it's been a crossroads for sailors, traders, and empires, its winds carrying whispers of dhows, spices, and the resilient people who called this land home. Every tide brought new faces, new hopes, and new legends to these shores. All along this coast, forts stand as stone guardians, some famous, many forgotten, protecting towns from pirates and invaders, and watching over the ever-changing tides. These forts weren't just military outposts. They were the heart of the community, bustling with life, trade, and laughter. Within their walls, generations grew up, markets thrived, and traditions were passed down. Imagine the clang of a blacksmith's hammer, merchants haggling over rare goods, and the aroma of spices drifting through the air. Children played in the shade, their laughter echoing off ancient stones, weaving memories into the very fabric of the fort. Today, many of these coastal forts stand in quiet solitude, often overlooked for their inland cousins, yet still holding on to their secrets. But for the adventurous, they offer a chance to step off the beaten path and connect with a raw, authentic slice of Omani history, untouched and waiting to be rediscovered. Exploring them is like a treasure hunt, uncovering stories hidden in the stones, piecing together fragments of the past, feeling the weight of history in every shadowed corridor and sunlit courtyard, and experiencing the beauty and mystery of Oman's forgotten coast, where nature and heritage blend seamlessly. These forts invite you to discover a side of Oman few ever see, a world where the past feels close enough to touch. They are silent witnesses to centuries of adventure and resilience, standing strong against time and tide. Each stone tells a story, etched by wind and waves. Each shadow holds a secret, waiting for curious minds to uncover. The coast is not just a place, it's an adventure waiting to happen, a journey into the heart of Oman's soul. For those willing to listen, the past is never far away. Oman's coastline is calling, ready to share its stories with those who seek them. My journey began with a simple idea: to see a different side of Oman, one that most travelers overlook. I wanted to go beyond the well-trodden paths and discover the stories that linger in the salt air and rugged stones. I was drawn to the lesser-known forts, raw, authentic, and filled with profound history. These ancient structures, battered by wind and waves, have stood for centuries as silent witnesses to the ebb and flow of time. The plan: travel the coast from Muscat eastwards, with the Al-Hajar Mountains on one side and the endless blue of the Gulf of Oman on the other, tracing a route shaped by both nature and history. The road winds through fishing villages, where life moves at a slower pace, and the traditions of the sea are alive. Here, the rhythm of daily life is set by the tides and the catch. Here, the forgotten forts keep their silent watch, standing guard over the coastline as they have for generations. Unlike the grand inland forts, these coastal sentinels are smaller, rugged, and built for function. Their weathered stones tell stories of defense, survival, and resilience. Their beauty lies in their simplicity and stunning locations, perched on rocky headlands or nestled in quiet bays, where the land meets the restless sea. Visiting them requires a sense of adventure. Sometimes there's barely a path, just a faint trail winding through rocks and wild brush. Scrambling over rocks or walking deserted beaches becomes part of the magic, each step bringing you closer to history and solitude. The journey itself is the story, an unfolding adventure shaped by the landscape and the echoes of the past. Standing within a crumbling wall, you feel like a true explorer, connected to those who once stood guard here, watching the horizon. These forts are secrets hidden in plain sight, waiting for someone to listen, to notice their quiet strength and enduring presence. They are not polished for tourists, but they are rich with stories. Each stone a memory, each shadow a whisper from the past. Each visit is a step back in time, a chance to walk in the footsteps of those who came before. The coast's forgotten sentinels are calling, inviting us to remember, to explore, and to listen to the stories written in stone and sea. One of my first stops was the ancient city of Kalhat, a ghost of a once thriving port, now silent and windswept on the Omani coast. Centuries ago, Kalhat was a vital hub, bustling with life and commerce, even mentioned by Marco Polo in his travels. Ships from across the world docked here, their holds filled with exotic goods, spices, silks, and treasures from distant lands. Today, little remains, An earthquake and the relentless passage of time have left only haunting ruins, scattered stones whispering of lost grandeur. The journey south from Muscat leads through sleepy villages and salty air, winding along the coast until the ruins appear on a plateau above the ocean. The tomb of Bibi Mariam, with its striking turquoise dome, stands as a beacon of a glorious past, visible from miles away. Walking among Kalhat's ruins is deeply moving. You trace the outlines of old houses and mosques, with only the sea breeze and gulls for company. It's a place for imagination. Picture the busy markets, the noisy docks, the thousands who once lived, traded, and dreamed here. Kalhat's power lies in its sense of loss and mystery, a city whose stories are half buried in sand and memory. Unlike restored forts, it asks you to wonder and reflect on what's been lost, inviting you to fill in the gaps with your own imagination. It's a place for quiet discovery, not crowds, a sanctuary for those seeking solitude and a sense of history. Standing there, you feel a connection to the past and the endless sea, as if time itself pauses for a moment. Kalhat is a reminder of how empires rise and fall. Its silence speaks volumes, echoing the stories of those who came before. Here, history lingers in the wind, waiting for those who listen closely enough to hear its ancient song. Just outside Muscat lies Kurayat, a sleepy fishing town watched over by its fort. Many pass by without a glance, but Kurayat Fort is a crucial piece of Omani history. Built by the Portuguese in the 16th century, it later became a key Omani stronghold. The fort's restored walls still feel authentic, echoing with stories of conflict and resilience. Inside, a maze of rooms and towers offers breathtaking views of the town and sea. From the top, you understand its strategic importance. Soldiers could spot ships for miles. Kurayat Fort is woven into the fabric of the town. The sounds of the market and mosque drift through its walls. It's not a museum, but a respected elder watching over its people. Here, the past and present meet. Visiting Kurayat Fort reveals the continuous thread of history in coastal Oman. It's a place where stories endure. The fort stands as a bridge between eras. Its watch is never truly over. In the south, the town of Mirbat is famous for frankincense and for a battle that shaped modern Oman. Mirbat Fort, guarding the harbor, witnessed a legendary stand in 1972 when a handful of defenders held off hundreds of attackers. The battle was a turning point in the Dhofar rebellion, echoing through Oman's recent history. Today, the fort's restored walls still hold the memory of that day. Its story connects ancient coastal defense with the birth of the modern nation. Visiting Mirbat Fort is more than historical tourism. It's a chance to understand the courage and sacrifice that built today's Oman. The fort is a monument to resilience and a new era. Here, history is alive and recent. At Oman's eastern tip lies Ras Al Had, where the Gulf meets the Arabian Sea and turtles nest by the thousands. Near the beach, almost hidden, is Ras Al Had Fort, small, unassuming, and often overlooked. The journey here feels like reaching the edge of the world, with the sea ever present. The fort, likely a refuge and lookout, is simple but atmospheric. At night, after watching turtles at Ras Al Jins, the fort under the stars is magical, silent except for the waves. It's not a place of grand battles, but a humble shelter tied to the rhythms of the sea. Ras Al Had Fort embodies the connection between human history and nature. The fort and turtles together create a powerful sense of place. Here, you're reminded that human stories are just one part of a much larger tale. The fort is a quiet guardian of both culture and nature. Ras Al Had is a hidden gem worth discovering. These forts were once full of life. Homes, workplaces, and sanctuaries. The governor, or wali, lived here, overseeing justice and defense. Soldiers, or askars, kept watch, trained, and shared stories in the shade. Their vigilance was the price of peace. Merchants and craftsmen stored goods in makhzans, drew water from wells, and sometimes traded in small souks within the walls. During attacks, villagers crowded inside, bringing livestock and hope. The courtyards buzzed with daily life. Women grinding grain, children playing, elders sharing news. These are the human stories that animate the stone. History here is about people, their struggles, fears, and joys. Walking through a deserted fort, imagine these scenes. Respecting these places means honoring the memory of ordinary lives lived within these walls. The forts are more than relics. They are vessels of memory. Their stories endure in every stone. Oman's wealth was once built on frankincense, a resin as valuable as gold. The trade created a network of routes, with coastal forts guarding the precious cargo. Ports like Mirbat and Salalah were crucial hubs, their forts deterring pirates and storing frankincense before it sailed to distant lands. The journey was perilous, but the forts were safe havens for sailors. Each fort was a vital link in a chain stretching from Dhofar to the world. Today, frankincense is still part of Omani culture, its scent found everywhere. Visiting these forts connects you to this ancient, fragrant history. They are not just military structures, but monuments to the substance that shaped a civilization. The forts are reminders of Oman's global legacy. Here, the past is tangible. The guardians of the frankincense route still stand watch. My journey along Oman's coast was a pilgrimage into the nation's history. These forgotten forts are storytellers, symbols of adventure, resilience, and a deep connection to the sea. Exploring them is a chance to escape the modern world and touch the past. Standing in a centuries-old watchtower, you feel the weight of history and the thrill of discovery. I urge you, seek out these hidden gems. Look beyond the famous sites, follow the coastal road, and respect the local culture. These forts are a precious inheritance. We are all their guardians. By visiting with curiosity and care, we keep their stories alive. Let Oman's coast captivate and inspire you. Listen to the whispers of history on the breeze. Discover the stories of those who lived and dreamed within these walls. This adventure will stay with you long after you return home. The coast is calling. Will you answer?